So, if you guys haven't seen already, Blizzard has released PvP changes. This is probably the most significant changes we've seen in a little while too. Like, if you look at this, there's a good amount of changes here. So we're gonna go over them while we're sitting in queues, check them out, and see what we think. There is a possibility that Affliction Warlock can be back. Do you guys hear me? There is a chance Affliction Warlock is back. There are some big Affliction buffs, massive Affliction buffs, and not just directly. There's directly buffs and indirect buffs from other classes being nerfed, which is sick. So we're gonna go and check it out if you're curious. So let's start off. Let's see. I'm only gonna read the important PvP changes that are relevant. So the Druid Guardian, we don't care. Vengeance DH. Vengeance is the tank spec, right? Yeah, we don't care about that. Oh, here we go. Bam. Affliction Warlock. All ability damage increased by 5%. There's one of them. 5% affliction damage buff. And then Destro also got some changes. Chaos Bolt got increased in PvE. And then in PvP, this is just all in general. Incinerate damage increased by 20%. Immolate damage increased by 20%. But those spells are already kind of low. Alright, here now. Player versus player specific changes. Hunter, Legendary. Reduces the cooldown of Feign Death by 5 seconds. It was 15. No more 15-second cooldown Feign Death. What is it gonna be, a 25-second cooldown now? Thank fucking God. I would like for them to just totally remove the spell on Feign Death, but I mean that'll work for now. So we don't have to worry about hunters just spamming Feign Death on cooldown. Now they kind of have to think about it. Okay, so we got the Feign Death thing nerfed. Mage, Flow of Time Conduit effectiveness reduced by 50%. What does that exactly do? The cooldown of Blink is reduced. I didn't even know that. They had a conduit that reduced the cooldown on Blink. That's pretty nuts. Imagine that's like Warlock having a conduit that reduces our port cooldown. See, that's not fair. I don't like stuff like that. Like, Blink's already a short enough cooldown, and then they get a conduit to reduce the cooldown of it. And then I'm pretty sure every time they blink, they also get a shield. That's no wonder why they're so tanky. So they every time they blink, they get a shield too, and they have a cooldown to reduce it. Netherwind Armor PvP talent now reduces the chance of suffering a critical strike by 10%. Was 15. Okay. Mistweaver Renewing Mist now heals for an additional 25% in PvP. It was 10%. So they're buffing the Renewing Mist, Enveloping Mist. So it looks like the HOTS for Mistweaver. Chrysalis PvP talent now reduces the cooldown of Life Cocoon by 45 seconds. Was 30. Oh god, shorter Life Cocoon. They're continuing to have a difficult time responding to burst damage reliably, as they regularly have to open their primary school. Ret Pally. Templar's Vindication Conduit now causes Templar's Verdict to deal an additional 15% damage. Was 30% in PvP combat. Wow, that was... Okay, so that's good. So Templar's Verdict nerf. That shit was hitting for like... You could crit for 30k with that thing. Shield of Vengeance damage reduced by 40% in PvP combat. Thank fucking God. I loved getting popped by a 30k from a defensive shield. Thank God. Oh my God. So that's nice. Holy Priest. Mana regeneration reduced by 65% in PvP. Was 60. Okay. So they're adding a little bit more. Trying to nerf that mana regen. Holy Ward Chastise now incapacitates enemy players for 3 seconds. So Chastise duration nerfed by 1 second. And then Censure now causes it to stun for 3 seconds as well. Okay, so the stun and the incap are going down to 3 from 4. Ray of Hope PvP talent cooldown is now 90 seconds. Was 60. I feel like these changes are good. The Chastise is cool, but I don't know if they really address the power of the healing. Like, the power of the... What is it? Their instant healing, and then also like how Fade interacts, and the Res Legendary. I feel like the Res Legendary is just really cheesy. And then yeah, Guardian healing too. Yeah, when you have Guardian and you heal into it. No, the Ray thing is just irrelevant because people are just not going to play with it. Like, this would be a big change if Ray was baseline, but since it's a talent and a lot of people aren't opting to play it. I mean, people do play it and it's pretty sick.
Prepare for battle.
But now with that nerf, people are just probably not even going to spec into it, right? There's going to be way better things to spec into. Shadowward Pain damage increased by 15%. Vampiric Touch damage increased by 10%. So they buff Shadow Priest dots. Those are some pretty big dots to your buffs. Or buffs to your dots, yeah. No, RMP doesn't play Ray. I haven't seen RMP play Ray. Never. RMP never plays defensive stuff because they're already so tanky. Like, they're all playing Resonator. No way.
Do you think the Soul Age buffs are going to be useful, Mike, for Affliction? Or not really?
I need to look at it.
It's only like, goes from 8% to 12%.
Let's see. Soul Leech grants an absorb shield based on 12% of damage dealt. Was 8.
It's kind of right?
For Affliction.
The Dark Pack seems really good.
Mm,
And Essence Drain, is that even viable or not really, even with the buff?
yeah, I think we can play Essence Drain. Well, with the removal of the Demon Armor, we have the option to play Essence Drain now. It was just really shitty when I played it. But I think it could be good for certain things. You would only probably play it versus physical damage. I don't know if you need it versus caster. But the thing that's weird with Essence Drain is you have to heal off of the drain life for it to stack it. If you're draining at full health, it doesn't heal, which doesn't activate Essence Drain. Which is,
or if you have if the enemy target has a shield too, right?
yeah, probably as well. That's why it has a really weird interaction. So if like drain life heals too much, well, I guess you're alive, so it doesn't matter, right? It could be really sick and dampening though, because you know you can't top, so the Essence Drain will keep stacking up. Could be interesting. And with the drain life Lego, it drains really fast, so you can stack it up quickly. And they're nerfing the stacks to 4, which is cool.
Gateway Mastery is cool. 30 seconds is huge.
Oh yeah, I can't. They're reducing it by 15, or increasing it by 15. Took them almost 2 years, but also Necro Destro, really good update so far. I feel like the Necro Destro Incinerate is going to be a little scary. What else? We stopped at shadow changes. So now Rogue Outlaw. Float like a butterfly. That's a great name. Now reduces the cooldown of evasion and feint by 0.5 seconds per combo point spent. Was 1 second. So for evasion and feint, I feel like they need to nerf the other cooldown reduction stuff too. Because don't they have cooldown reduction on, what is it, Cloak and Blind? Or no, Blind is just automatically not 2-minute cooldown for them, right? I forgot how it works. Dark Pact now provides an absorb shield based on 300% of health sacrificed instead of 250%. Ooh, 300% now. Dark Pact buff for Affliction and Destro. Nah, I think Destro will still be bad. Affliction, maybe not, though. We don't care about Destro, though. Destro can die. I don't care about that spec. Essence Drain, PvP talent now causes the target to deal 9% less damage to the Warlock per stack. So right now, it's 5%, 5 stacks. Now it's going to be 4 with 9. Whoa. The Essence Drain is going to be... It's on the target, though, right? An enemy target, yeah. So whoever you suck is going to do less damage to you. Gateway Mastery now reduces how often they can take the gateway by 30 seconds. Was 15. So if you spec in a Gateway Mastery, 30-second reduction. You're going to have to choose between Essence Drain or Gateway Mastery. Next change, Soul Leech grants an absorb shield based on 12% of the damage dealt. Was 8. I don't know how big that change is, because Soul Leech wasn't... I don't think Soul Leech was healing much as Affliction. So that's kind of like whatever. But it's a big change overall compared to what Soul Leech was. But yeah. Usually when I play Affliction, my drain healing is way higher than my Soul Leech. So it's probably not very relevant. So in 9.2.5 we removed Demon Armor and changed Echoing Resolve to no longer interact with interrupt effects, which impacted Affliction locks with their spellcast being a single school. Okay, they're aware. With the combination of these changes, Affliction Warlock's defensives have been lower than we'd like even after our stamina increased their base kit. So we are targeting to equip them with better survival tools in PvP. And then Warrior, the amount of mastery granted by Conqueror's Banner Necrolord ability reduced by 33% in PvP combat. We might see Warrior switch off of Necro. Crushing Blow, Raging Blow from Recklessness Abandoned talent, now deals 20% reduced damage in PvP. Oh, ho, ho, ho. The juicy Fury nerfs. Thank God. Overall, Fury damage has scaled higher than we'd like in Season 3, especially with their set bonus. We are intending to bring down some of the moments of volatility while still maintaining the high consistent damage that fulfills the fantasy. The fantasy of a Fury Warrior. Sexy. Yeah, that's everything. Not bad. With the Affliction, I'm more so excited for the Hunter nerf and the 5% damage increase. Because Affliction already does really good damage. But I want the design to be improved with Affliction. I don't really care about the damage thing. It's just the design is so whack. If they made it easier to apply dots, like they did in the past, like making dots instant, and then you'll be able to focus on your kiting more and survivability. But I think Affliction is such a challenging spec to play with, because having to cast all your damage on one school and kiting and drain healing all at the same time.
Should I blink stun in this?
Yeah.
Hard.